What's up, people? This is Nate Girl 30 here, and I'm going to get straight into this. Now, I went into this pay-per-view with the lowest of the low expectations. Think it's going to be nothing but a bunch of crap, and I'm going to probably fall asleep in the middle of it and not really remember anything. But the one thing I can say is that I was really kind of taken away by some of the surprises that kind of thrown at us. And we kind of deserve to have a little bit of something. I mean, for crying out loud. They kind of thrown everything together at the last minute. Vince McMahon out of nowhere kind of changed the entire Survivor Series event around. Instead of making it the main event, he probably made it to the middle of the card. So, in a way, they kind of gave us a little bit of a treat, and I'm happy that they did this. It shows that they care a little bit, maybe. But anyway, the opener was actually Team Ray versus Team Tensai, I believe. My stream kind of came late, so I wasn't entirely sure who the guy was, but I ended up finding out that it was possibly Tensai. But if I'm wrong, please leave your comment in the comment section below. But anyway, that was a pretty good match. It was this really, really decent match. It had the team of Ray and Sin Cara and Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd versus the Primetime Players and whoever else was in there. I pretty much caught and Epico and Primo. Now I pretty much caught those guys, Epico and Primo and Tyson Kidd. Epico and Primo and the Primetime Players. I caught those guys. But when I actually did see that match from the pretty much from the middle, it was a pretty solid match. I really did I was pretty entertained with it. But it was a given that Rey Mysterio was actually going to win because they're pretty much priming him to have his final farewell for this year's WrestleMania. So honestly, even if the faces did win, it's not really all that big of a deal to me. Moving on from there, they did have the Divas match. Eve versus Caitlyn for the tramp stamp belt. Sorry. I have to quote Spaz Venus every time he says that because that was freaking epic. Yeah. Did I really care about this match? No, but it seems to me they actually really tried to turn up the intensity. I am highly impressed with Caitlyn. I really am. She really have come a long way. She's definitely been training hard. You can tell that her skills in the ring has definitely improved. And she is primed to probably be the next Divas champion. I really wish they bring a women's championship belt back. But either or, that's me. I was really impressed in how she was. It's a shame that she did not win. Of course, Eve's going to pretty much keep the title, but I really do feel like that Caitlyn is definitely going to be primed to be the next Divas champion, and I was highly impressed with her skills. But moving on from there, the one thing I could definitely say is that Team Foley versus Team Ziggler, I didn't really care for the match at all. It was not bad. It was not bad at all. I mean, the fact that Dolph Ziggler got over on Randy Orton was a feat. That's one thing I'm going to definitely say about that. It was a huge feat. Something I really never expected. And honestly, the way that he went out was the sweet chin music to the face. I don't know. I guess that's a popular move. But he ended up getting the pin on Randy Orton and he ended up getting over and the heels ended up winning. So, yay. I don't know. I really just didn't care much for that match. But it is good that Dolph Ziggler actually did get over from Randy Orton. Now, not a lot of people really did see this match, but it was a YouTube match with 3MB versus Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. Honestly, I really did like it. I really did, because like I said in my predictions, these guys had to put on one great match in order to get over. Both of them be able to get over. Well, what I mean by that is, like, even though that one person has lost, they won't look weak. The losers won't look weak. And it really was a solid match. I happen to like it a lot. And I really do feel that even though Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd lost, they actually did. No, actually, it wasn't Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. They switched that around. It was Zack Ryder and Santino Marella. So Zack Ryder really did give it his all. That's one thing I can pretty much say about that. He really did give it his all, and that shows how tired I am for the fact I can even remember that. But either or, I did see that match. I saw a little bit of that match before my stream went out. It was a pretty solid match. Just one thing I'm definitely going to say about that. And also the fact that Zack Ryder did give it his all. He gave it a little bit more than Santino. I don't know whether or not Santino's giving up, But Zack Ryder really did give about at least a good 90% on what he was doing. And it was a highly impressive match. I was highly impressed with Zack Ryder. He has definitely improved. He's not just a gimmick. He's actually a decent wrestler. But moving on from there. This is pretty much my match of the night. And this is the World Heavyweight Championship match with Sheamus versus The Big Show. These guys, they put so much heart, so much emotion, so much everything inside of this storyline that you can't help but be emotionally invested in Sheamus to win. Even though Sheamus didn't win, it made sense for The Big Show to win it, and it's actually a good thing that he did, but it was a cheap way of it happening. That was my only gripe. The way they actually had The Big Show kind of win the match was really cheap. I'm sorry, it really was. A kick to the face, a bro kick to the face, to the referee. Not really sure whether or not the actual match was continuing. Please, that's a cheap way to go out. And that was my only gripe. But it was a solid match, and I do consider that still to be my match of the night. Now, going back to the U.S. title, RTruth versus Antonio Cesaro for the U.S. title. I was kind of disappointed to see this. I really wanted RTruth to actually win a belt. I forgot that he actually was a U.S. title holder at one time, but please, that was a forgettable title reign. And it would have actually had a lot more to it, in my opinion, if he won tonight. But since he didn't, that's a shame. But Antonio Cesaro, hopefully they continue their feud from here. And Antonio Cesaro is still the U.S. champ. But moving on to the final match of the night, the main event of the night, the triple threat match between Ryback, CM Punk, and John Cena. I have to say, I was not expecting the ending to happen the way it was. And I'm seeing that Ryback is constantly getting stiffed right and left. How can you do everything in your power to push this guy to the stratosphere, only for him to go down in the end? He went down by being screwed at Hell in a Cell, and now you got Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns from NXT. And I know that Mr. Parkin is probably literally just doing cartwheels right now for knowing that Dean Ambrose is not Fandango. But regardless of that, the fact is that you got three guys from NXT, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, taking Ryback out. Are they forming a new faction? This is something I'm really excited about, and I hope that they actually will come and bring it to a head on Raw, because we really do need something more solid than 3MB. But seriously, I think that was awesome. The ending, the way that they ended that was awesome. Seriously, it was. It was kind of cheap the way that CM Punk won, but I'm happy that it was not John Cena, because he's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He really does not need it. But are they going to have a Rock and Cena Part 2 at WrestleMania? We don't know. CM Punk is going to be facing The Rock at the Royal Rumble. The Rock says he's facing the winner, so it's going to be CM Punk. Am I thrilled about that? Not really so much. I really don't feel like that CM Punk is going to be much of a challenge to The Rock. And I was hoping that it was going to be Ryback. But do you think that Ryback is going to consistently allow CM Punk to continue his reign? No, he's going to interfere somehow. But anyway, I have to say that this was actually a solid show. I was highly impressed with the ending. It was kind of a hodgepodge of mess. It was kind of thrown together, and the fact that the whole AJ Lee thing was really ridiculous to be on there in the first place. But I was surprised that Tamina out of nowhere just pile drived AJ out of nowhere. I think they're really trying to pump up the Divas division, because let's face it, Beth Phoenix is gone and Karma's not coming back, so they have to do something for the Divas division. And I was highly impressed with the fact that we got Tamina making another heel turn out of the blue, not really any purpose, but the fact that she had a heel turn, I'm hoping that they're going to make this interesting on Raw. But I have to say the matches themselves were pretty solid. They did have a few things in there that really didn't make any sense, like the whole AJ Lee story angle, but they had a lot of twists and turns. The biggest twist with Tamina heel turn, as well as the whole faction with Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins pretty much taking out Ryback, was a huge twist in my book. And also the fact that they had another opener with another Survivor Series style match, I think they did pretty good. And what I'm not going to say is like epic or awesomeness, I'm just going to say that it was okay. It was a good decent, solid pay-per-view. And now that's my thoughts on it. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Leave your comments in the comment section below or send me a video response. I am all for those, and I'm really curious about what you guys think about this, especially the fact that this pay-per-view was thrown together at the last minute. But anyway, this is Nature Girl 30 signing off, getting warm. Peace out. Later.